Hey guys, this is the Auto Enthusiast, and today we're looking at the 2015 Fiat 500 Abarth. We're going to do an in-depth review, check out the interior, hear what the exhaust sounds like, and take it for a test drive. Stay tuned. The Fiat 500 Abarth is commonly known as the little car that could. It is powered by a 1.4-liter turbocharged i4 engine. It gets 160 horsepower and 170 pounds-per-feet of torque. Those aren't impressive numbers standing alone, but with a curb weight of 2,512 pounds, it's a fun car to drive. The 0 to 60 time is 6.9 seconds, and the Abarth has a top speed of 129 miles per hour. This little car looks very aggressive on the road and sounds just as mean. It comes in a manual or 6-speed automatic transmission. It is front-wheel drive and gets 28 miles to the gallon in the city and 34 on the highway. Fiat focused on the little things with designing this car. For example, the colorful badging, aggressive dual exhaust, and the concise grille. They did a very good job making incredibly attractive 16-inch sports wheels with an underlying red caliper. The 500 is a pleasure to see on the road. It's an aggressive car that can also double as an expression of class and comfort. Trunk space in the Abarth was pretty impressive for the actual size of the car. It certainly isn't optimal, but will still function for everyday items. The back seats do fold down to open up more space. There is also a Beats sub in the trunk. The back seats were small to say the least and were definitely not practical. They did, however, have a large and easy space to get into. The overall interior of this car is fantastic. You know, it is a Fiat, it's not of the highest quality. Not to say it's low quality, it just has a lot of hard surfaces. It's actually got a leather wrap around the speedometer, but there are a lot of hard plastics around the car. For the driver's seat, I'm about 5'8", 5'9". I do have headroom here, which is nice. You know, it isn't as small in the driver's seat, it's small in the back, but as a driver, I have room. Especially in the Abarth rather than the 500. I've got room, it's nice. The overall feel, like we had with the regular 500 a couple weeks ago, everything that Fiat could make a circle, they did. Except the steering wheel. There's a flat bottom steering wheel. But other than that, everything's a circle. There's some nice, it does have a kind of an upscale, simple interior. One thing I really liked about this car are the seats. The seats are actually really attractive. There's this chrome edging around for the gap. But the seats are really attractive. They're very sporty seats. They're not necessarily bucket seats. They're meant to hold smaller people. I'm a little bit larger, and I'm still comfortable in them. The seats are pretty comfortable for such small seats. I really like the double red line, the two-tone line, the red stitching. They're just really attractive. The wheel is nice in this car. It's really attractive. I really like the center Abarth insignia. It's got very simple controls on both sides, very standard. The wheel actually has a really nice leather wrap with really nice red stitching around it. It's a very comfortable wheel to hold with both lower and upper holds. Overall, it's a really sporty and attractive wheel. The actual gauges in this car are really nice. The center gauge is nice. It's got the double overlap speedometer, and it's got a digital speedometer on it. Right now you can see that the gauge gives me the pressure over each tire, which is another feature. It also has a very nice boost gauge, the turbo boost gauge. Really like this. I really like the placement of it. It's really close. You can see it very easily. I think Fiat did a nice job designing this. The overall center console and interior is really nice. Again, everything's circles. It doesn't have a screen, but it's got a little display for the controls here. I really like this. It's very simple. It's easy to use. You've got your sport mode, basic controls here. They're very glossy buttons, pretty high quality. The controls here are also very simple for temperature and all that good stuff. Very simple. These are feel a little less of high quality, but get the job done and are easy to use. You've got your window controls here, and you've got your shifter here. I really like the automatic and manual. They both look really nice, very attractive shifters, easy to use. There's also this space down here with the cup holders. The cup holders are pretty small, but it's a good space for a 12 volt and your auxiliary, and it's really out of the driver's kind of view, and it's easy space and easy access for the driver. The e-brake is also down here. It's easy to use, and this car does have Beats audio, which is kind of cool because not that many cars have them. Space in this car is a little bit small, but it is a small car. You're not buying it for storage. The side storage is quite long. It's very skinny though, just a hard plastic kind of in space. It's not that bad here. You could fit things. It's like a regular sedan here. It does open the space up here for smaller items that some sedans don't actually have, but again, it doesn't offer that much space. The glove compartment in this car is actually really nice. It's very large as glove compartments go, especially for the size of the car. It's quite deep. You've got your USB charge in there. It's only for charging, and it opens pretty big. There's also a little bit of netting, cargo netting, that you can store something there. And this is pretty big. There's also a space in the passenger side right here with just a little bit of netting. You can put a phone here, an iPod, something to hook the auxiliary up to, or the USB. Those would be easy to use and store the item here. There is a little bit of space down by the cup holders down here. This is kind of your center console storage. There isn't a center armrest for storage. So you've got a little bit of space down here. We're gonna go ahead and start the car. It is a louder car. We're gonna do an exhaust clip right after this, but here we go. I really like the noise of this car. Maybe not the beeping, that's because I don't have my seatbelt on. We're not driving, but it is a loud car. The exhaust makes a lot of noise. I really like it. First thing that I noticed in this car is visibility. Visibility is a little tight, but for the size of the car and the nature of the car, it's pretty good. There's a lot of natural light in this car. There is a large blind spot when you turn around, but the mirrors, the side view mirrors, are pretty large and do have a secondary blind spot recognition for the driver. The passenger side view mirror doesn't have that because there isn't that large of a blind spot for the driver. So another thing that I just want to say, you just heard the exhaust clip. I'm really excited about the exhaust. I definitely didn't expect that type of exhaust sound, all that good stuff for this car. I'm super excited. It sounds awesome. I'm really impressed with Fiat for doing that. With a little bit of tuning and modding, this car could be one mean sounding car. I'm super excited to drive this. So one thing that I have noticed before even driving it, the steering wheel is pretty far away. It isn't designed, this car is designed for a smaller person. Yeah, the steering wheel is pretty far away. I have shorter arms, but it is a little further away. Let's see what it does. We're moving up to a straightaway here where I can give this a little bit of gas. We're gonna come to a stop. We are in sport mode. Let's see what this can do. We've stopped. So yeah, a little bit of tire spin, but other than that, this thing moves. The boost gauge is really nice. Yeah, this gets up to speed really quickly. This is a fun car to drive, Wow, I'm actually really shocked. As a driver, I did not expect that. I got some quick readings from the boost gauge. The car got up to speed. It was super loud. That exhaust is just unreal. I don't even know how to describe it. It is unreal. And yeah, this thing revs really high. It doesn't shift until like 5,000 RPM. This is just exciting. That was really exciting to drive. I can't say it enough. That was super fun. I think Fiat's done a really nice job with this car. I wasn't super excited about the 500. It was fun to drive, but there was lacking some qualities. This definitely fits it. As a driver, noise is awesome. The sound of the engine is awesome. The sound of the exhaust is awesome. It pulls the driver. It's super responsive. I feel like I'm driving a go-kart right now. I'm so excited. The braking is actually fantastic. It's very precise. It's a little touchier than your normal brakes out of everyday cars. It's a little touchier, which is nice. This is a sports trim. It's got sports brakes, which is pretty cool. The gas, when I'm pressing it, just a little bit of compression of gas really makes the car respond. I have the gas very lightly compressed right now to continue my speed, which is nice, but if I press it just a little bit, the car really starts to pick up. I like to use the word opportunistic. This is an opportunistic car. When you press the gas, it wants to go. It's not messing around. It wants to go as quickly as possible. The overall feel of the road is a lot like a sports coupe. It's a lot like the Scion FRS. We reviewed that earlier, and as a driver, I'm getting a lot of signals from the road. The steering is heavy. I love it. I know what's going on the road. It's a comfortable car to be in. It moves like a sports car. The whole entire body kind of shifts around the bumps, so you're not getting jerked around. There's no heavy noises. It's a great suspension for New England driving. That's where we are. So we're gonna go around a rotary here, see what the turning's like, give it a little bit of gas. Yeah, oh my god, this thing, the sound of this thing is just awesome. Turning is great. I love that it has heavy turning. You know, I think too many cars have light turning nowadays. You don't really get a feel of the road, there isn't resistance, so you could overturn, oversteer, understeer, all that good stuff. Turning in this is great, a lot like a go-kart, like a Mini. You know, I think this is more fun than the Minis, personally. I'm getting a lot of good signs from this car. Very little body sway, you know, there's not a lot of like leaning to one side for this car, and it does really well accelerating out of turns. You know, this is truly a car that could spice up your everyday driving. Getting into it, I didn't think it would, and I am shocked. This is a super fun car to drive. This is definitely now on my radar. Everyone has been talking about them in the car world, how they're like the little car that could, you know. That dude in blue talks about them, Super WX fan. Yeah, this pickup, that acceleration is just awesome, you know. A lot of people have loved these cars. A lot of people tune, mod them, make them cool. You know, a lot of people say they're too small. Yeah, sure, it's a small car, but this is a fun car to drive. I'm having a lot of fun. Again, like the Kia Optima, this is one of those sleepers that I didn't really know about. You know, for the actual drive feel, you know, I think a competitor for this car would be the Veloster Turbo. Certainly the Veloster Turbo is more practical, it's got more space, but the actual drive of those two cars are very similar. You know, that Turbo, kind of like the ideal opportunity, like where the turbos want to move, the pickup is similar, sound is a little nicer in this car, but overall it's nice. Kind of the looks of this car and the noise, you know, I've talked about the sound of that exhaust a lot, and I can't talk about it enough. It's so great. You know, driving this car, often when I drive small cars, I don't feel that it reflects the type of person that I am, because I am a larger person and I don't really look that great in smaller cars. I like cars, so I want to look at something, I want to be driving something that's a little more aggressive, definitely sporty. And driving this car, I definitely feel comfortable in this car. You know, I feel that like other drivers are going to know that I'm driving a sports car, and they'll understand. You know, aesthetically, this is an aggressive car. It looks like it can go fast, and that exhaust really ties the car together. And the interior is definitely designed for the driver. You know, that boost gauge, everything about this car just is, it's just nice. It's a high quality sporty car, you know, especially the steering wheel. The steering wheel, I like, if you put this in a Jaguar F-Type, you know, I wouldn't know the difference, to be honest. Some of these features are just great. Coming out of U-turn here to see what this car does for a little bit of sharper turning. And yeah, it's really good. Tight steering radius, speed up here. Oh yeah, that noise is just great. This thing, oh wow. I'm very excited about this car. You know, if you're looking for a smaller car, something that's really fun to drive, that you want to have a lot of fun in, this is a car to check out. I just can't say enough. I'm so surprised. This is such a fun car to drive. You know, it's a little less practical because it's very small, but if you're living in the city and like you're gonna be doing some like tight driving, this is definitely a car to check out. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely leave comments and questions below. Let me know what your experience has been with this car. Please subscribe and check out some of our other reviews.